Hello and welcome. This is kind of a mid-season update as I'm going to start to do these over the course of the season. Just kind of cover some of the races I've run, what's happened, what's been good, what's been not so good. So just kind of going over what I've been doing, trying to tick off the uh, I've been everywhere achievement, which is win at every track package, which is an important distinction to make because of things like Nordschleife, which is split into technically three packages. We'll get into that shortly, actually. So this kind of starts week 13 of last season. I noticed I was at 33% of that achievement without really hunting it. Like I hadn't started going out of my way to try to pick up wins at tracks that I hadn't won at yet. It just kind of, I'd started accumulating them over time, and the more of those you do, the closer you get, just naturally. But I decided to try to make some sort of concerted effort this season to do it. So this is kind of the first part of probably a couple. I want to try to do these every other week. I know this is kind of partway through week 3 of season 3 of 2025 here, but yeah. So I kind of started week 13 trying to chase Atlanta in the Rallycross, week 13 Rallycross. Didn't quite get it there, but as you'll see pretty quickly here, that I did get it eventually later on here. So we're going to start with the UI, kind of go through what I was doing. So start at the start of the week there. I ran Proto GT in the HPD. You might have seen the video on Jensen Krasinski's channel of this race where I finished third. I spent the majority of the first week of the season trying to get a win in Kokomo in the Outlaw Micro Sprint. So Outlaw Micro Showdown, originally Millbridge Micro Showdown, got introduced when the Micro Sprint got introduced. I've won in at every track in that car that series has gone to, except for Kokomo. And as you'll see, this was kind of a struggle past that. Because I finished second in this race here after leading the bulk of the race. So that one was kind of a gut punch, 2/10 of a second at a dirt track, 5 thousandths a lap over 50 laps. It's like nothing, right? Obviously there was a yellow there, but point being, ran Proto GT again. I want to say, yeah, Zay Miguel had connection issues. He would have been the car to beat this race, I think. But I held on to it after his disconnect and went on to win this race, which gave me my first win in the HPD, a car that I've had basically my entire iRacing career. It was kind of out the door when I got to it, and obviously I wasn't quite as capable as I am now as a driver. So I picked this one up, picked up Road Atlanta for the first time. That was a good one to kind of get out of the way early because I've kind of struggled historically at Road Atlanta. It's not a very strong track for me. Obviously, it's a very strong track for other people, so maybe it's not a weak track for me. It's just other people are really strong at it. So I ran IndyCar at Chicagoland for the Tuesday night top split. I mean, I got bailed out of this race by a late yellow to even finish up as high as I did. I was running back of the field. How many cars were in this race? Yeah, I was running like 20th area, basically tail end of the lead lap the whole race. Got bailed out by a late yellow. Managed to kind of work my way back into it. Maybe had a top 10 run in this race, but nothing more than that. And we'll take that as it was. Legends Road Cup. I didn't need a win at Charlotte, but I picked up a one anyway. Me and my roommate from college run this series, so that's that. I think I've won at every layout of Charlotte that I've raced at, except for maybe one of the Legends layouts. I don't know. I've won a number of Charlotte layouts now. I know I have wins at the Roval in Road to Indy stuff, and I know I have a win on the Oval in the IndyCar where I led 132 of 133 in some late split. IndyCar, Road America, I don't need a win in either of these, so I'm just kind of listing that off. Top 5 there. I did some Beetles, I needed this Pro 2 Lite. I needed Wild West. Wild West was one of the last, it's one of the last dirt road tracks I still needed a win at. In terms of dirt road exclusive ones, I still need Bark River and Lankbanken, Hell RX. So those will still be on the docket at some point. But yeah, I kind of took the pole in this, or no, I started second, got the jump on the outside, kind of worked my way away from the field, and off I went. So there's that one. I struggled in a number of more Kokomo races. Let's see, is there another one? Where is the one with Tyler? Yeah, I just struggled in a number of Kokomo races this week. Oh yeah, this Oxford Plains race, I needed a win in the street stock, and in Oxford Plains, I just got hosed on a restart, got jumped on the outside, pushed down, fell down to third, made the pass back to second with a handful to go, but there's just nothing you can do at Oxford. This track's terrible. We'll get back to it here later because this is one of those that I wanted out of here. I did not want to deal with Oxford Plains any longer than I had to, but unfortunately that was not the time I got it. You'll see Dirt Street Stock. I need to pick up a win the Dirt Street Stock still for the other, like, win in every car one, but I've kind of been trying to hit two birds with one stone if I can. PCC at Oran Park. I ran a bunch of these. I finished like fourth 4 times, I think, in the M2. I needed a win in the M2, and I never got it. So I ended up just running the Clio and 1v1ing for it. So I picked up another win in the Clio, but I picked up Oran Park at some point here. Yes. So there was this Outlaw race. I finished second in it again. This is the really bad one. This turned into a 1v1 because these 3 cars didn't realize this series went official at 4 cars. Not that I think it would have mattered, but 9 thousandths over the course of 50 laps. No cautions, so I literally lost by half a second. Led the opening stage. Shaduk, I guess, had never driven this track before, and he was like, yeah, I just kind of watched what you did and made it around you eventually. And it's just like, well, so that was that. Yeah, it was a tough week at Kokomo for me. I still need a win at Kokomo. A lot of these ones that you're seeing here are unofficials that I unfortunately didn't get anything out of. Dirt Mini Stock. I went and decided to run Dirt Mini Stocks because I needed a win in the Dirt Mini Stock. So we'll come back down here. I ran more Dirt Street Stocks. A lot of Dirt Street Stocks. I ran this Skip Barber race at Laguna that I didn't think was going to go official. This is like the second lowest strength of field I've ever won in my entire iRacing career, but Skippy at Laguna. Laguna, again, it's a track that I'm pretty weak at, but I put one together, and that's that. I'd like to go back to some of these and pick up maybe a slightly better field for some of these, but kind of got to take them as they come. They don't ask how, they ask how many. So, Oran Park, forget which one of these would have been my win. I want to say maybe, I don't know. It's in here somewhere. Is it this one? Yeah. I just 1v1'd it in the Clio. Picked up that one. That Clio at Oran was scary. I know Justin had a hard time with it running it that week, but yeah, that was a tough one. Bunch of PCC, you see, bunch of seconds. I had this race on lock, and then I suffered a connection issue and fell like a brick. Like, I was the fastest car by far. I was going to win this race by a mile. Was not the case at the end of the day. Then I had another one where I got murdered by a Mazda in the final corner at some point and wound up finishing third. So just a tough week at Oran, but I at least got the track win and still looking for an M2 win. I don't think that'll be too difficult for me in time, but I'm not really super focused on the cars right now. Kind of just working through tracks because I think that's going to be easier for me, especially for stuff like GT3, GT4, which I especially is just going to be a tough one for me because I only just picked up my first GT3 class win, period, when the old Ferrari GT3 Fix Series went to Mid-Ohio. That was my first Mid-Ohio win last season as well. Yeah, more Dirt Street Stock. I did some practice in the 305 at Williams Grove, which is a track I still need to win at. I've had a win in the sprint car for a while, but there's that. I ran this. Was this an official one? No. VIR in the Toyota. I need a win at VIR and in the Toyota. I tried that. PCC in the Clio. I think this race I junked it, but then I picked up Beetle at Atlanta. This was a fun one with Riley Downey. He battled me hard for it. I just took the Joker really early. That was about the only way I won this race. I took it lap 1, walked away, was able to stay in front of these guys, and then they eventually wound up battling as I think, encountered a lap car late in the race, and I just kind of jumped in front of them, pushed him out of the way a little bit, and won that one. We'll see IndyCar at Milwaukee. I'm still looking for my first Milwaukee win. I think it's like the track I have the most starts and the most time at, bar none in terms of locations I need to get a win at. So that's still on my radar. As like a local track for me, that's a tough one to swallow every time we go there, and I struggle a bit. Ran some more Road America and Road to Indy during week 2. I picked up a win in Indy Pro 2000 there, but that's not one I needed either of. It was just a good race between me and real USF Pro 2000 driver Frank Mossman. So that was fun. 305s at Williams Grove. So late right in that race. Yeah, 1 a.m. 305s. Martin Crump. We're going with that. He hunted me down basically the whole race. I don't remember how big the lead. I want to say it was 2 seconds at one point, but he charged towards me towards the end. I have no idea how to drive the sprint cars anymore ever since they did a bunch of dirt refresh stuff. Just no clue. But yeah, I picked this one up. Williams Grove down the drain. The only dirt oval I've competed at that I don't have a win at right now is Kokomo, which remains the case. Spoiler alert. I tried picking up an M2. Actually, where are we? Okay, yeah. So mini stocks at Langley. I ran Formula V's at Winton because I needed a Formula V win because that car got introduced well after I started on iRacing. So I never raced it. This was the first week I had ever raced the Formula V. I tried practicing it a handful of times, just couldn't figure it out. But once I kind of figured out that you kind of hold it in third and fourth gear and that's it, and you use second very, very sparingly, and it's a high-risk, low-reward gear, at least at Winton. So I managed to pick that up in my 4th start in the V. Yeah, because here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4. This one I lost out by 9,000ths of a second. I was basically side pod wheel banging into the line, trying to do what I could, but just wasn't enough. He got to my outside, coming through the kind of the box section of that track, and out-dragged me. Tried winning an M2 race at Watkins. Just Khalil Elmore put on the defense of a lifetime, and I could not do anything about it. So there's that one. We'll get that one eventually. USF, I picked up a win there last week at Road America. Struggled in the Indy Pro 2000 strength of field race there. I ran too much downforce is basically the sum of that race. I made a move early, kind of drug a couple cars backwards with me, and yeah, it was a tough time. So more VIR in the Toyota, still winless in both of those. Mini stock at Langley. This is another one that introduced well after I got started on iRacing, so I hadn't picked up a mini stock win yet. So as you'll see, this first race, I just wasn't on it. I had no clue what I was doing here, but it's P2 here, and then I went and just ran the next one and got lucky that the field formed up like right at the last minute, and I won it. So yeah, that's kind of just what that was there. More GR Cup. I don't really like GR Cup. If I'm going to win a Toyota race, it might be in PCC at this point because GR Cup's just atrocious in terms of the driving standards. Dirt Street Stocks at Kokomo. Say that 4 times fast. Another struggle this week for me. This 9th place finish. This is my first rip at it. You just can't rip the bottom. It seems so hard to rip the bottom, which seemed to be where it was fast, but alas, it's not the case. So I've struggled in a couple of those this week. I picked up the Oxford Plains win in a very hectic, chaotic, well, I guess kind of a lap 4, bit of a kerfuffle. Picked that one up. So that was a big one for me. Oxford Plains alongside Langley are like probably the worst tracks I've driven on the sim, in my opinion. You can love them as much as the next guy, but I do not. This week I've run a bit of Legends Road Cup. I ran USF 2000. Amongst other things, Mid-Ohio and Monza, as you can see there. Finished third in USF this week. Finished fourth in the first Monza race I ran. The lead pack just broke away, and I wasn't there to fight for it. But I also didn't have the pace in this race to maybe fight for that. But I think that race helped and gave me a more legitimate Monza win as opposed to the one I picked up in PCC. Somewhere back in here. Let's see if I can find it. Oran Park. Where is Monza? Monza combined. Is it this one? No, it's got to be the other one, right? No, it's got to be the other one. There's got to be another one here somewhere. Production card. Yeah, here it is. This one. Yeah. So, highest strength of field win, I think, ever for me in terms of the Clio class. I want to say it was like 3,600, but there was 2 cars in it. So, at least if I'm going to do that, I want there to be another car out on the track. So it's not like I beat nobody to pick these up. So, there's at least a car that could have done something to me. So yeah, picked up Oxford Plains this week. That would have been yesterday, as at the time of recording. So there's Monza today, USF today, and then I picked up an actual legit Monza win that isn't like a 2-car field, so I can at least not feel like I have a total asterisk on that one. This is another unofficial, and then today I just got out of Kia at Nordschleife. This is the first time I ever drove the Kia. Picked up the win at the Nordschleife. I was basically put together 4 clean laps and walk away with it. That's that. Again, they don't ask how, they ask how many. So in terms of that put me up another 10%, I believe. Amongst all those tracks, I want to say that I picked up a good number of those, because if we go here, yeah, I'm up 10%. So in terms of the kind of the lay of the land here, so all those were pickups for me. In terms of what else I'm trying to figure out, I'm still trying to do dirt street stock at Kokomo this week. And then maybe Cup or Xfinity at Chicago Street, but that's tough. I do not know how to road race that car or either of those cars to save my life, seemingly, because the fast times there are way faster than anything I've been able to do. Next week it'll be late model at Concord, GR86 at Suzuka, maybe. The rookie formula stuff at Rudskogen. That's one of the few. It's like one of 4 series. Both the rookie formula series are running Rudskogen. It's one of the 4 series running that this season. Need to get a win there. Dirt Legends at Kokomo next week, so that might be a fallback plan. Super late model at Thompson. Legends at Concord. The rookie series is there. Proto GT at VIR, because that's the first opportunity I get at VIR. That's not Toyota this season. Tour Modified at Milwaukee. UMP mod, that would just be to get the UMP mod win. And then Cup or Xfinity at Sonoma if I pick the track up. And then Pro 2 Lite at Park River. But yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of looking to chip away at tracks that I have already, and we'll kind of pan over to what tracks I have. A lot of ovals I haven't won at, because I've picked up a lot of these to run them in the IndyCar and just not been particularly successful with them. So we've got, Auto Club, Chicagoland, Daytona. I think I've had Daytona for longer than that, but like Dover, same deal. Kansas, Las Vegas, all these bigger ovals I haven't picked up wins at. You'll see a lot of the, I have Thompson and Concord left in terms of free ovals left, and then it's a lot of the short tracks that I haven't bought on top of the bigger tracks that I haven't picked up wins at yet. In terms of road courses, I don't own a lot of the road courses, but of the ones that I still have remaining, I have Belle Isle, which I believe the Skippy is running later in the season, so that'll be one I'll try to pick up. Chicago Street, we're running it in Road to Indy week 12, so that might be a better opportunity for me to pick that one up, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens the rest of this week here. Coda, it's a track I think I bought to run IMSA at one point. Hockenheim was a Road to Indy pickup that I did not pick a win up yet. The combined version of the Nürburgring is the only one I have left that I need to pick up a win at, but that's also one that's slightly less common in terms of being used on official schedules. I know it's being used in a good number of them this season, including Advanced Mazda. Phillip Island's new pickup for this season. Same with Chicago Street. It's new to me this season. Same thing with Portland. Redskogen, Suzuka, and VIR. So Redskogen and VIR are the last two free road courses I need to pick up a win at. And then obviously the dreaded Kokomo, which is the last dirt oval that I actually have that I need to win at. In terms of cars, we've got the other rallycross cars. I haven't bought them. UMP, Street Stock, one of each NASCAR car, the Street Stock, the late model stock, and then like the GTP, GT3, GT4, the two remaining PCC classes I don't have a win at, and then the other of Global Challenge, which is the CTSV. So long way to go here still. I'm hoping to maybe crack 50% before the end of the season in terms of the track list. I think that's theoretically possible given the remaining weeks. As you can kind of see, a lot of this is, Portland, Phillip, Thompson, Milwaukee, VIR. Like if I can get VIR out of there, that's a huge one because that's, a track that's used all the time. I've had second places there in various configs, so it's just getting that last oomph over the hill, if you will. So, yeah, just kind of picking them off as I can get them and going from there. If you have any thoughts or suggestions as to what I should try to tackle, I have my eyes maybe on running Hell the couple weeks that it's on the fixed rallycross schedule to try to pick that one up. It's a pretty inexpensive pickup in terms of a track, but I've just got a lot of other stuff I already have that I think I need to put focus towards. If I can get, some of these free road courses like a VIR or Redskogen out of the way, that makes those easier because then I can focus on, other tracks, maybe work on different cars, that sort of thing. So kind of just a quick recap. And yeah, have a good one.